beautiful beaders, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I am back today with the May 2019 dollar bead box subscription. For those who are new here or maybe new to this subscription, I will leave their website link down below. It's as low as $18.50 a month, including shipping if you're in the US, if you sign up for 6 months, and then it is a little bit more, and you will have to pay for shipping if you decide to do a 1-month option. But they have several different options. You can check out their website, like I said. Also, I've been subscribed to this box for over a year now, so if you're interested in checking out the playlist that I have, you can see over a year's worth of unboxings, and I will try to link that up in the corner there. So without further ado, I'm really excited to see what's inside, as always, so let's open it up and see what we have. Alright, so as usual, on the top is the dollar bead bag. This is an $8 a month add-on where you can get 4 3mm fire polish strands and 4 4mm check fire polish strands. And they always include such beautiful colors and variety, so we'll look at that in just a second. Below that is our dollar bead box, which I'm going to move aside, and we will look at the bag contents first. So like I said, this is an optional add-on for the fire polish strands, and it's a great way to build up your stash for these. A lot of people like to use these in bead weaving, but you can also use them in other stringing projects as well. So I'm just going to separate the 4mm and the 3mm out, and we'll take a look at those one by one. Here is a quick look at the list that was enclosed in the bag, so you know what the colors are called. One of the great things about the dollar bead box and bag subscription is you can go back onto the dollarbeadbox.com and you can order more of these strands for just $1 each. So let's run down the list. The first of our 3mm strands is called Matte Topaz. That is this strand right here. I'll let you take a look for that just for a few seconds. Just like the name suggests, this is one of those matte colors, so it has a more frosted look to it as opposed to the typical shiny fire polish look. And it's in the classic check glass topaz color. The next color we have is called Crystal Half Copper. And these are one of my favorites. I've reordered these strands before personally, but as you can see, these beads have a little bit of copper on one side, and then on the other side they are left clear. But that copper is so beautiful, the metallic, it's very shiny. The clear portion itself has the normal shiny fire polish finish on it, and I just love the look of these two-tone choices. Our next color is called Matte Light Peridot, so we have another matte color, which I really enjoy these personally. I like the option of having a matte finish. So we have a beautiful light green. It's kind of a seafoam color, nice and light and springy. Our final 3mm is called Winter Blue. I'm definitely not missing winter, but this is a very pretty color of blue. This is a very, very pale blue. You just get a hint of that blue cast in this strand. It's very sparkly, looks very icy, and I think it'll be very pretty paired with a wide variety of things. Alright, so now we're going to look at our 4mm strands. So the first one we have is called True Purple, which is this one right here. We get a lot of the color called amethyst in check glass beads, and while amethyst is purple, the check glass amethyst really does, to me at least, look more like a brownish purple, which kind of sounds weird, but it doesn't have as much of the blue undertones, and it looks like this one called True Purple definitely has more of the blue undertones in it. And if I had to choose between the two purples myself, I think I would have to choose this one. I think that's a beautiful shade. Our next one is called Jonquil, and we've gotten this color quite a few times before, maybe not in the 4mm. The jonquil is always a light pale yellow, and for those who don't know, I believe jonquils are actually daffodils, and if you have seen daffodils popping up in your area, or maybe it's past that time for you guys, you know that those are typically in a yellow or a white, so it makes sense why they call this color jonquil. Got a very sparkly finish, and I think it's also a color that would pair with a lot of things well. Next up is Matte Emerald Green. So this is a very vibrant shade of green. Also in the matte finish, has that more of a frosted look to it. Love adding these varieties to the stash. And it also looks nice when you pair a matte color with a regular fire polish color. It gives it a nice contrast between the shiny and the matte, at least I think, so it's good to have these different options to choose from. And our final 4mm strand is called Cobalt Blue. One of my favorite colors. Here we go. Just as it suggests, it's a brilliant shade of cobalt blue. Very shiny with the fire polish finish on it. It is such a rich and vibrant shades. I'll let you take that in for just a few seconds more, and then we will hop into the dollar bead box. Alright guys, so here's the dollar bead box in front of me. We always have a little letter to start off with, and then on the back it has a list with details of the contents of the box. So it says, Dear member, this month we've been mixing things up a bit. We've put together lots of colorful bead mixes, and they're all available in our special deals. That's on their website. The mixes include a wide selection of check glass beads and Japanese seed beads. We're starting with 7 color varieties, including peachy green, Autumn Splendor, and Periwinkle and Jonquil. Enter 50-gram check mix in the search bar at the top of the page to see all the current options. Another fun new special deal is our half-pound resin bead mix. Each bag contains approximately 200 beads in 16 shades of assorted colors and sizes. The design options are limitless. So it's always a good idea to check out their website, especially if you are a subscriber of the box. That way you can go and pick up maybe some things that you like from the box and also some additional things. They do have some really great deals. I've shopped on their site many times before. But just a reminder, you do have to either be a subscriber of the box or bag, or you can pay for an annual membership of their site separately. So let's see what's inside. Oh wow, I'm seeing some beautiful colors in there. So I'm going to set this aside. We're going to go through everything one by one. Okay, so we have 16 beautiful things to go through. I'm really excited about the contents of this box. We have 6 different strands in our strand section. I'm just leaving this here in case you need to pause the screen for any reason and refer back to it. And then we have 10 things listed down here in our additional items, which could be anything from specialty beads to findings to gemstones, things like that. So let's go down the list and see what we received. First up, starting with our strands, we have a 6x8mm check glass squished oval bead strand in olive or jet. So it looks like I received olive, which is this green right here, and there's 36 pieces on the strand. It's a nice long strand, and it is a shape that I haven't received before, so that's always exciting. Here is another look at that shape. So it does look like a squished oval, especially from the side, and then it almost looks like a squished bicone from the other side, so that's pretty neat. Our next strand is an 8mm strand of check glass druck beads being their basic round shape, and the alexandrite is always this lavender color right here. So no special finishes on this or anything, just basic transparent lavender colored round glass beads. They're very pretty and very uniform. And then in addition to that, we have a strand of 4mm alexandrite check glass drucks. So that's pretty neat that they included 2 different sizes in the same color and style. Makes it really easy to maybe use those 2 together in a project. So just as a comparison, here's the 2 side by side. We have the 8mm here and the 4mm there. So quite a big size difference, but the same color and shape. Next, we have 2 different colors of 3mm check glass pearls. And the colors we have are Coral Luster, and then this one is called Mint Tea. So I think we got this one recently in a larger size, and then this is the Coral Luster. Like I said, so pretty. I actually really like these 2 colors together. I think they're beautiful. I also think we recently received some in a 2mm size in this coral color, which I use to bead around a cabochon. But that luster finish is very nice and just makes them a little bit more special. And it says that there are 42 pieces on these strands. Then finally for our strands, we have another 4mm strand, and this is a check fire polish in matte crystal AB. So these beads look like a mix of clear and a silver metallic finish, and then you can see the AB in them, that rainbow kind of effect that they have. And they're also matte and frosted looking at the same time. Another beautiful strand with a lot going on in it. And now let's get into our specialty items. Okay, so first up we have this little bag here. These are 10mm pewter large hole slider beads, and you could get antique copper or silver plated. So it looks like I got the silver plated. Let me take them out of the bag. So here's a look at these a little bit closer up. You can see they have this really cool etch design on them here, and they are pretty thick. The holes are very large, like it says, so these would be great for any kind of cord. And you never know, I mean, once in a while you just need a bead with a large hole in that. You might get some cord and you want to do something with it, and you'll be happy to have these in your stash. Next up, we have a bag of 4mm check glass Drux in matte jet. There's 40 pieces in here, so these are just plain black round beads in the 4mm size. And like it says, these are in the matte finish, so they're not shiny or glossy at all. I think these are a great basic item, and so is our next item, which is also check glass Drux. So these being in the crystal color, and there's 40 pieces of these in the bag. So another basic, just plain clear glass round beads, which can come in handy in many situations and will go with everything. Our next item is a 6 to 8mm, actually 2 pieces of 6 to 8mm hand-cut faceted beads in smoky quartz. Let's take a look at these. Aren't those pretty? They've got all kinds of really interesting facets on them. They're not your typical bicones or typical fire polish. They're very different. The way they are faceted, I think they're so pretty. And I like the fact that they included 2 of those in case you wanted to make yourself a pair of earrings using these. You'd have 2 of the same ones. I had made mention of that on my last video, and it could be coincidence, I don't know, but it looks like the rest of the beads they sent in pairs unless they were more of a focal, so that's really nice. I'm glad that they did that. Oh, you guys are gonna love this next item. This is a jade butterfly. That's really cute. It's kind of translucent and it looks carved. It's very special looking. We haven't received anything like this so far, at least since I've been subscribed, so it's really nice to get something different like that. And like I said before toward the beginning of the video, if you did want to pick up another one of these, you most likely could as long as they're in stock. Go on their website and purchase another one for just $1. So it's a beautiful shade of pale green, very intricate with all the etching and details on it. I think just having the one would make a really pretty focal incorporated into a pendant. Our next item is a bag of findings. These are 46mm, they're pretty long, brass eye pins. There's 20 pieces in here. So I personally like getting findings from these boxes from time to time because they're not one of my favorite things to shop for, so it's nice to get some of them sometimes in the boxes and replenish your stock. As you can see, they've got the round end on one side. They're great for earrings, and also they're great for incorporating into other things, including making pendants out of a bead or connectors. It's also kind of nice. These are a brass color, so they're not a bright yellow gold. They are more of an antique gold, but not quite as dark as that even. So it's something different that I personally don't have, so I appreciate getting those. Our next bag contains 10 to 12mm freshwater square coin pearls. There's 2 of these. Aren't they pretty? Could make these into a quick pair of earrings right away. The hole is right there, as you can see, running straight through the middle of the bead. They have that kind of mother of pearl look, a little bit of a rainbow effect on the outsides. Our next bag contains some more pearls. These are 10 to 12mm large hole potato pearls. There's 2 pieces of these. Those are gorgeous. I like the fact that they are very similar in size. I'd love to incorporate these into a pair of earrings as well. And being that they're freshwater, of course, they're a little bit irregular, which makes them look unique. And then they have that nice larger hole on them. So you could even put some very fine chain through those if you wanted to. Freshwater pearls typically come with very, very tiny holes. So it's nice to have some variety in that regard. Our next bag contains a 16mm faceted bicone in jet hematite snakeskin travertine. Wow. This has a lot going on. Let's talk about how it looks metallic. So that would be the hematite. Then the snakeskin travertine, that's very interesting. So take a look at the finish on that. The travertine finish on the check glass always makes the beads look more stone-like, which I always appreciate. I'm seeing a mix of that dark gray metallic gunmetal color, the hematite, and then a little bit of olive green in there as well. And I like how it's faceted too. This is really interesting. So another thing that you could pick up at their site if you wanted another one for $1, or you could just use one of these as a focal in a pendant, for example. And then speaking of focals, we have our last bag right here, which is a bag containing a 28 to 30 millimeter porcelain oval bead, and you could get dusty pink, mauve, or blue. So I received the blue, which actually, don't you think it looks very pretty with some of these other beads that we've received? So taking a closer look at this, it's beautiful. It's got a nice large hole on it there. It's got a crackled type of design going on, and I see a couple different shades of medium blue kind of modeled in there, and then some lighter shades, and then a dark gray or black veining in it. Nice glossy finish on the outside. I think this would make a gorgeous pendant as well. So that's everything, guys, for the May 2019 dollar bead box and bag subscription. I hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing and checking out what was in my box and bag this month. I personally really enjoyed this box. I think the mix of strands are beautiful. I love the strands they sent. They sent some really nice basics too in the additional items, which is nice. It was also nice for me personally to see a little bit of a break from charms. We had been getting charms in each box, so it's nice to have that broken up a little bit. And seeing some of these beads coming in pairs, similar pairs, so that perhaps if you are a newer beader, you don't have a stash built up yet, you could quickly make some pairs of earrings out of what you received. But also knowing that you could go back on their website and reorder, that's always great too. Love getting a couple of focal items and even some large hole beads for something different. Once again, if you're interested in signing up, you can check out the link down below to their website. I always have all kinds of helpful info down there. And if you're new to my channel and curious about it, don't forget to check out that playlist that I mentioned before, where you can get an idea for the consistency and the contents that have come in past boxes. And like I typically say on these unboxings, I'm not paid to talk up this box. I'm not paid to say any of these things. All the thoughts and opinions I've expressed are my own. I'm also not trying to sell you a box. It's just fun to share these unboxings with you and help you guys make an informed decision on whether or not this subscription box is right for you. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you have a favorite item from the box or anything else you'd like to share with us. Thank you so much for being with me. I will have more subscription unboxings to come very soon. I have another one sitting right next to me, so stay tuned for that. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy beading. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love for you to give it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my latest videos. Check out the information section under the video for links to my social media handles and other helpful info, and feel free to check out my shop at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching!